Hi everyone, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Peter.
Good morning.
Hey Roger. Let me share my screen real quick. Welcome everyone to the Hyperledger Cacti Maintainers League. Please abide by the antitrust policy notice and also the the LFD Centralized Trust Code of Conduct that we have linked to from the agenda document. And I see that we have a new guest today, Roger. Nice to have you on the call. Do you have any topics that you'd like to discuss?
I don't, Peter. I just wanted to pop in and see how things are going. So happy to be here.
All right. Thank you. All right. On to the regular discussions. So, what I wanted to say for myself is we have a 2.01 release that I will issue either this week or next week. And with that, we can test the new changes to the release pipeline, the things that didn't work out in the previous release is that we had a missing token and we had some bugs in the publishing workflows. So we'll issue this release now, and then we'll see if the proposed fixes were good. And yeah, that's pretty much all from me. Does anyone have any other topics of discussion?
For the 201 release, we will need to do a bunch of updates. So yeah, just bear with us. So I think Sandeep and I will work on that.
You
Peter,
still have a backlog of that? Well, sorry, give me 1 second, Jennifer. So what could we issue the 201 now and then issue a 202 later as well when you're done with your changes? Because
Yeah, sorry, I missed what you were saying earlier. When do you plan to do the 201?
either this week or next week. It all depends on where I get to it. There's other stuff also I'm working on. There's always many different things.
Okay, I will try to work on this with Sandeep tomorrow. I think it should not take more than a day or two for us. So if you can do it defer till next week, then we should have the changes ready.
Okay, that works too. And if you happen to miss it, or if there's more changes you need to make later, we can totally do 202 the next day if we have to. It doesn't really matter in my mind. That's semantic versioning is not supposed to be this psychologically damning tool that gives you anxiety about versions. So I have this policy that we just issue a release anytime we want to. It doesn't matter how significant it feels if it was messed up. We just issue another one to fix it.
Yeah, I take your point. Also want to get this out so Jennifer can make some naming changes she needs to in the COPM before she finishes her mentorship.
Okay.
Jennifer, you were saying something?
oh No, it was just completely on a completely different topic. If this meeting is short, Peter, I'd like to speak with you about the a few of the comments on the Corda PR.
Okay. Yeah, we could do that on the pair programming if
Yep.
there's not enough time here, but it just depends. I don't see Mihal, I don't see Izuru, so it might be that this is it. So yeah, let's just try and get to it.
Jennifer, do you need any help from Sandeep on that?
No, this is just some comments from
Peter.
Peter's,
Okay.
yeah, Peter's review.
Yeah, I think we can discuss that now, or at least try to get to it, and then if there's leftovers, we can also use the pair programming session.
Okay. Should we do that here or meet on the pair programming channel?
This is good.
Okay. Let me share my screen.
And also, Rama, Roger, if you don't want to hang around for pull request reviews, that's totally fine too.
Yeah, I might hang on for a bit just out of curiosity, but then I might drop. Appreciate that.
No worries.
Okay. Do you mind if I share my screen? Okay, thanks. Let me get set up. Okay, can you see my screen?
No, just a Ubuntu jellyfish.
How about now? Oh, wait, maybe it's wrong. There.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so firstly, I've been messing around. You suggested using the disk cleanup tools in the CI script to clean up the agent before running. I've tried that, but in several combinations, but it doesn't. It causes things to fail later on. The other thing is that just removing that was only a couple of lines in the removal, and so I needed to add more because it didn't free up quite enough disk space. So I added the lines that were there in my original script, and I'm a little bit worried about doing that because that could have impact on other although it doesn't seem too bad, but it could have, yeah, it does seem to be a little bit worse. Because doing those extra removals could cause other jobs to fail if they're, for instance, using something in share boost or opt hosted cache tools, whatever's in there. I think, for instance, Rust is in there, so that would cause some other failures.
Yeah, okay. Then it's not worth wasting more time on it, trying to shoehorn it in.
Okay.
I agree.
If we go to the pull request, I agreed with the comments. So that's that one. That was named Noah because that was what was requested in the. It was one of the primitive names that was requested in the mentorship planning document.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that's fine then.
So, but it's perfectly fine. I mean, if we want to change it to health check, that was Rama's suggestion. So, do you have an opinion, Rama? If you're still here.
Sorry, I was looking at your PR. I missed your question. Can you repeat, please?
Yeah. So Peter suggests that the no-op endpoint be called health check.
Yeah.
And I was saying
Yeah.
that the no-op comes from the project, but if you're okay with changing it to health check, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean the reason we called it no-op was because initially when the COPM module was added to the grand architecture diagram, I think Isru and Takuma mentioned that we may not exercise any of these the functions like the pledging and locking and all of that stuff. So we just need a pass-through API, and that's what we called a no-op. So strictly speaking, it is a no-op, not a health check, because the module is something to be invoked upon need. But yeah, I think the way we envisioned it, the COPM is going to be used every time any ledger is accessed, at least in its current incarnation for any Fabric or Corda ledger. So if all packages are going to go through the COPM to hit the ledger, then the no-op is what they should use if they don't want to use the functions that are actually being exposed by the COPM. That makes sense, Peter?
Yeah, that sounds perfectly fine to me then. Thank you
You
for
can call it a
explaining.
pass-through as well. Yeah, that's a better name.
So what is the no-op in my implementation is just a return. I thought it was more like Peter imagined a health check.
Okay.
So this is supposed to be doing something else?
Like I mentioned, it was supposed to be a pass-through. So it doesn't actually matter how you implement it right now. We can change that later because right now the COPM module is a standalone module. If we integrate it with the pipelines for all the other modules, then we will need to do something else with the no-op.
All right.
My only request is that you write, one of you at least write a couple of sentences in those common threads, just explaining what we discussed here very quickly, just so that
I will
there's
just add a
a
comment about
history
it.
of it. Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay. So this was a good catch. That wasn't supposed to have been implemented. And yes, I did the iCactus plugin. Where was the comment? So you have a comment that this should be started through. Oh, here it is. Please make sure to include a test case which verifies the plugin being functional while used through the API server. So both of the test cases use the HTTP API server. It's just not on the test. It's not in the test. It's sort of hidden a little bit. So like, for instance, the Fabric, when we start the server, we have we use the API server and call it through the plugin registry. Is that what you meant? Or is this something different?
No, that's exactly what I meant.
Okay, so we've got that in both the Fabric and the Corda. It's just not right on the test, in the test before script. Okay.
So does that mean that this package, oh, this is a test package. Okay.
Yeah, it's all, this is all in the COPM test library. So that was the best way to do it. But it does mean that I have very little, actually no unit testing, but the COPM, there's almost no code. It just passes straight through to the Weaver stuff. So really, when you have, it's one of those cases where just testing the whole thing is the thing that makes the most sense. So that's it. That was all the things I wanted to talk about.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with all of this. This sounds like what I wanted is there. The API server was the most important thing by far.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got a test package. So that's awesome. I don't even know if that was already there and I just didn't notice it or if you added it.
No, it was already there.
Oh, there you go. See, I review too many pull requests and then I end up glossing over details. So sorry about that. But yeah, I'm really glad that all that is done. So yeah, I guess looks good to me. And we didn't even take that much time, so that's pretty good. So what I'll do now is I'll say thumbs up, but please go back and leave the brief explanations on the comments,
Yep,
just so that
absolutely.
people later looking at it will have a sense of what happened.
Sounds good.
Okay. Hi, Sandeep. I see you just joined. Do you have any other ad hoc discussion topics?
Hey, Peter. No, I don't have anything to discuss.
Okay. Oh, I have one. I just realized that since Roger's here, I can tell him about stuff I've been doing. So, what I was looking into also is making something work with Chainlink and Cacti. And so I was analyzing / reverse engineering kind of the contracts that Chainlink uses. Well, mostly I just cloned the Chainlink repo, compiled the contracts, and then saw if I could deploy them. And there's a bunch of contracts there. There's a lot of Solidity code. So I'm still kind of just reading the sources of those because I want to make sure I understand most of it before I go and try to replicate some of it on some other ledger like Fabric. So it's going a little slower than I anticipated, which is always the case. But I'm looking into it.
Yeah, no worries, man. I know it's not, EVM to Fabric is not simple. So
Yeah.
happy to support you in any way I can. If you want me to, I could probably pull in some other people too that worked on that stuff if you end up having any questions. So just let me know.
Yeah, will do. Thank you. I very much appreciate that.
All right, thanks, Peter.
Okay. So it sounds like we're done with the agenda, but if anyone has any other topics, then please speak up now before we close the call.
I just wanted to tell you that I dropped the comment. It's basically what I mentioned a few minutes ago.
Awesome. Thank you, Rama. That helps. If there's a history of decisions in the comments, that makes things easier for future people. All right. Then thanks everyone for joining, and I'll talk to you next time.
Thanks.
Bye. See you
Bye-bye.
next week.
Bye.
Bye.